Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second session, the first of the final session here at the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships. Joining me in commentary tonight and for some expert comments, Stephen Kent, 2012 Olympian. Great to have you here, Steve.
Yeah, cheers, Scott. It's always cool to come back and see how our youth of today are going.
Well, it's been 11 years since you took part in that Olympic Games, and you had many great performances after that. Competed in surf lifesaving, and tell us a little bit about where you're at now, your career, your personal life.
Yeah, so career firefighter in Auckland, and got an 8-month-old daughter now, so time's definitely moved on from 11 years ago, but really enjoying it. It's awesome.
And how are you finding that transition into retirement, Steve? Always a bit of a tough one.
Oh, no, it's the best. Definitely loving more of that family time to spend with my daughter and my partner, Danita, so really appreciating that now.
Well, fantastic to have you with us. Some great performances this morning across the heat session, especially in the para-multi class, with 3 New Zealand records. Asher Smith-Franklin coming out firing in both the 50 breaststroke and 100 back, and then Riley Sayer swimming on her own 50 breaststroke New Zealand record.
Yeah, isn't that great? First session already, getting some records and just setting themselves up for a great week. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the only swimmer, I guess, in the able body was Lewis Clairberg, getting about half a second outside of the qualifying time for the World Aquatics Championships in the 400 metres individual medley. We'll be hoping for some faster swims tonight, and we will be kicking off with the men's 400 metre individual medley. And in the middle of the pool there, the 2 younger swimmers, well, Sam Brown, I guess 20, and then Luan Grobbelaar, Lewis Clairberg in the middle.
Yeah, well, if Lewis is definitely going for a time tonight to make himself in that qualification bracket, those 2 boys will be trying to chase him down and get themselves a time.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one. 50 metre breaststroke para-multi class for the men will follow Josh Wilmer, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist in the middle lanes, as well as the New Zealand record holder, Asher Smith-Franklin. That'll be a tight one as well.
Yeah, it's always good to see the rewards of what happened last year and then bring them back to our own national champs, so hopefully they can have a good battle.
They will indeed. And then we have the time final, the final of the 1500 metre freestyle for women, lanes 4 and 5, Caitlin Deans and Eve Thomas. This is going to be a battle, this one.
Yeah, isn't it great to see our distance swimming come back up? Obviously, Caitlin last year at the World Short Course 5th, and then I know Eve definitely loves that long course side of things, so it's going to be a really good tussle. Yeah,
just chatting to Eve before this champ's coming straight off a very tough training block. She's been in Thailand at a training camp. She's feeling good, so looking forward to that 1500 metre freestyle. We move then to the 400 metre individual medley for the women. Gina McCarthy, Maya Rasmussen in the middle of the field, both doing very similar heat times this morning.
Yeah, well, I think once again those 400 IMs always show the best of what they can do in each stroke and who's got the strongest in each, so I'm looking forward to that one as well.
100 metre backstroke para multi-class, Jesse's in there. He made the team this morning for the World Para Swimming Championships, and Asher obviously alongside him, just pipping him to the wall in the different class, but another New Zealand record.
Yeah, isn't it great to see that these guys can battle each other even though in different classes? That hopefully brings their times down so they get more improvement heading towards their World Championship qualifications.
Absolutely. The 800 metre freestyle for men is the last individual event this evening, and the first showing of Zach Reed after a good 12 to 18 months out of the water with injury.
Yeah, good. I talked to Zach earlier, and he's really looking forward to it and getting back to his best, so that's exciting. And then you got young Lam probably trying to have a little tussle with him there, so that'll be cool to watch.
It'll be great to see how he goes. We finished the evening with the 4x100 metre freestyle relay for both men and women. An awesome opportunity to get a hit out maybe of some of our sprinters early in the champs.
Yeah, well, yeah, in those sprinters, whether they're later on in the meet, they definitely want to put their good foot forward at the start of the week, and I'm sure they'll be all looking at each other through these relays as well, which is always fun.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Well, thanks, Steve, for joining us. We're now going to move to the next stage of the session now. If I could ask you now to take a stand for the New Zealand national anthem. Just hold it about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for standing for that, and also a bonus God Save the Queen in there as well. So would now like to ask Andrew Jeffcoat, Commonwealth Games gold medalist, to read the athlete's oath.
I declare that we will take part in the 2023 Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships in the true spirit of sportsmanship, recognising the rules which govern and wishing to participate in them for the honour of our team, country and the glory of our sport.
Thank you, Andrew. We'll now ask CEO of Swimming New Zealand, Steve Johns, to make his way to the podium. We've got some special awards. In fact, that is Ron Clark, life member of Swimming New Zealand. My mistake. And he'll be coming up here to present this medal, this award. We're excited to congratulate and announce the finalists for the 2022 Swimming New Zealand Awards. These awards are recognition of the outstanding performances achieved by members of our community within New Zealand and internationally when representing our country. We are proud of their achievements, and these awards celebrate the 2022 calendar year. Following the integration of para swimming into Swimming New Zealand at the start of 2022, we have updated the awards offered and their respective criteria at our annual awards. These changes now provide the same opportunities for our Olympic and Paralympic pathways for swimmers and coaches. The finalists were announced on our social channels over the past few days. You can view these on our website. The winners will be announced across each night of this event, starting with 2 awards this evening, presented, as I said, by Swimming New Zealand Life member Ron Clark. Firstly, the Domestic Swimmer of the Year. The Domestic Swimmer of the Year is presented to a swimmer who has excelled in New Zealand competitions during the 2022 calendar year. The winner is Erica Fairweather of Neptune Swim Club and Swim Dunedin. Erica receives this award for her strong performances at both the 2022 Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships and the 2022 Apollo Projects New Zealand Short Course Swimming Championships, where she achieved world-class FINA A times across 3 distances. The next award, also presented by Life member Ron Clark, the Domestic Technical Official of the Year. The Technical Official of the Year is a new addition to the Swimming New Zealand Awards in 2022. The award has been introduced alongside the existing Bill Matson Award to recognise technical officials who have made an outstanding contribution within New Zealand in the 2022 calendar year. The winner is Peter Deans from Otago. Peter is the inaugural recipient of this award for his outstanding commitment and contribution to swimming Otago competitions throughout the region, amassing more than 170 hours of officiating in the 2022 calendar year, where he was regularly the technical director and provided support at development meets during a time when COVID-19 restrictions impacted the delivery of events. Peter also attended every development meet in 2022 to offer training, guidance and mentorship to fellow officials. Please give another round of applause to Peter Deans from Otago.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships 2022, live from the Sir Owen G. Glenn National Aquatic Centre in Auckland. Here alongside me with Stephen Kent, 2012 Olympian, on the commentary desk with me tonight. Would now like to ask you to put your hands together and welcome our technical officials as they make their way onto pool deck. Referees for this evening's final session, Ron Clark and Jackie Forsyth. Starters for this evening's finals, Ross Gillespie and Joe Russell. And the technical director for these championships is Carlreen Gillespie. We now welcome the finalists of the men's 400 metres individual medley, event number 1. In lane 1, from Pirates, Ethan Buchanan. Lane 2, from Neptune, Otago, Curtis Melsop. Lane 3, from Neptune, Otago, Luan Grobela. Lane 4, from Capital, Lewis Clearbird. Lane 5, from Capital, Sam Brown. Lane 6, from North Shore, Blair Helms. Lane 7, from North Shore, Dita Biswin. Lane 8, from United, Luke Gibson. The men's 400 metres individual medley, the New Zealand record holder in lane 4, Lewis Clearbird, just outside that qualifying mark this morning, Steve, but sure, the pressure, I guess the excitement of the final is going to bring these guys faster.
Lewis is experienced, he knows what he's doing. He's going to go out there tonight and give it his best shot.
And he takes them through the first 50 of the 100 metres butterfly. Just looking at last year's results, Steve, 4:14 at the 2:22 swimming champs. Sam Brown was second, Blair Helms third, so he's starting out fast. He's going to have to get some much faster splits from this morning.
Yeah, it's good to see these other boys up with him on this first 100. It's just whether they can stay with him in this backstroke leg.
Speaking with Lewis before the championships, he said he's tweaked a few small things, but he's got a relatively good system going there with Gary Hollywood in Wellington, training out of Freiburg and the Wellington Regional Aquatic Centre, getting some short course and long course training. And now opening up to a body length lead into the 100 metre backstroke.
Yeah, Luan's got up there on his hip there, so it's whether these boys in this backstroke can stay on Lewis. That's one of his strokes he's definitely improved on in these last couple of years. So it's good to see them staying with him right now.
Yeah, Luan will want to stay with him. He'll want to try and be on the toes into the breaststroke leg. Luan, a very, very talented breaststroker. He's done a lot of hard work down there in Otago. 4:17, the qualifying. 4:17.48 for the FINA A qualifying mark for the World Aquatics Championships. And 4:08, the New Zealand record. That was a time, remember, Lewis did at the Olympic Games in the heats there, one of the best, naming the best performance he's ever had. And into the breaststroke, Steve. Let's see where they're all sitting. Luan Grobbelaar and Sam Brown, neck and neck at the moment in this men's 400 metres individual medley final.
Lewis has gone through a second fast than he did this meet last year, so he's really trying to put the gas on in this first 50 of the breaststroke. And these other boys are looking at him, chasing him down. They're still in really good position for not only Lewis, but for these two boys behind him.
So 2:02.50 through the 200 metre mark. And just looking for a bit of a change of lead here. Luan Grobbelaar just creeping forward just a fraction over Sam Brown there in the breaststroke leg as expected, but powering through. Nice powerful stroke and recovery here from Lewis Clareburt.
Luan had the fastest 50 breaststroke split of all those three boys there, so it's good to see him having a go at Lewis here. Obviously we know Lewis has got his freestyle background as well, but it's good to see Luan really taking it to him.
Luan Grobbelaar looking very, very comfortable indeed, really coming back at Lewis Clareburt in the second 50 of this 100 breaststroke. Look at this 50 from Luan Grobbelaar. He's caught right up to Clareburt with a 100-metre freestyle to go. All the training coming down to tonight. Qualification for the World Aquatic Championships.
Let's get behind these two boys. We want both these boys on this team this year. This is a really good attacking 50 by Luan. He's hungry for Lewis here.
He is hungry, breathing off to the right. Clareburt breathing off to the left. They're not looking at each other, but they will in the final 50 of this event.
Just think who Luan trains with, Erica. He's going to want this freestyle leg to just go as well as those girls can do it down in Otago.
Tough as nails down there, Steve, in Otago. Clareburt still starts to breathe off to the right this time. Does he sense how close it is? Luan Grobbelaar, what a swim here. Let's see where they land on the clock at the end of this 50.
25 metres to go here. Lewis is just holding on to him. Luan attacking here this last 15. Come on, boys.
Fantastic swims. They've got to go under 4:17. They will. 2 qualifications for the World Aquatics Championships. 4:14, 4:16. What a result. Sam Brown will take third at 4:22. Luan Grobbelaar has made the team. He's wrapped. Lewis Clareburt defends his title. 4:14.78, just a half second behind his win from last year. In a big block of work himself, Lewis Clareburt, I've been told. What a swim from first and second. And hopefully an indication of how exciting this week's going to continue for us. I've been watching Luan Grobbelaar, Steve, over the last 12 months. You've just been starting to see some real improvement.
Yeah, and who better to chase than the Commonwealth champion there? And so if there's one motivation, if you want to come here and make these times, you got to try and beat the best. So that's really awesome, and good on Sam Brown there getting a bronze medal.
Absolutely. We'll catch a word with the Commonwealth Games champion and national champion Lewis Clareburt. And we'll also catch a word with Luan Grobbelaar, so if he can not go too far away. Here with with Lewis Clareburt, the winner, the national champion. Congratulations, 4:14, well underneath that qualifying mark. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I managed to sneak under time there. Wasn't feeling amazing, but I had to, still put in a good performance to get under that time, and I'm just happy to, get the first one under the board.
Well, look, it's a long year for you. You're wanting to peak later in the year. In terms of your training leading in, how was that last sort of 4 weeks leading in? Are you still under heavy work?
Yeah, well, we did a pretty good taper. Wasn't perfect, and if it was perfect, I'd probably be doing, personal best, but it's been a pretty turbulent year, but I think, having the opportunity to race here and going, a decent time is a good start, and, we've still got a year and a half until Olympics next year, and that's, the main goal.
What excites you the most about the next 12 months for your career?
Yeah, I guess lots of travel, hopefully some fast swimming, getting as many people on teams as we can, and yeah, just, I guess, finding that joy in sport and building that environment around, performance and having a good time.
Lewis Clareburt, ladies and gentlemen, national champion and qualifier for the World Aquatics Championships. We'll catch a quick word with Luan Grobler now, and by the look on your face, Luan, you're pretty happy camper. Congratulations, Luan, 4:16, well underneath that mark. How do you feel?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So happy. So yeah.
That breaststroke leg was phenomenal. I mean, the first 50 you were creeping up, and you got a little bit of a lead on Sam Brown. You were neck and neck with him, but that second 50, did you just sort of chuck it in sixth gear or something?
Yeah, absolutely. I just switched off all the pain, and I just thought, to myself, just go. It'll be over soon enough. Just go.
Testament to the training down there in Otago. You must be doing some serious work down there.
Oh, absolutely. Lars definitely makes us do a few distance. But yeah, other than that, I think we just all enjoy swimming down there.
Takes the pressure off a little bit, getting that qualifying mark on the first night.
Absolutely, yeah. Just going to go and enjoy the rest of the meet.
Give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Luan Grobler, qualifier. We move now to event 101, the 50-metre breaststroke for women para multi-class. And in lane 4, it is Riley Sayer from Matamata. Now, Steve Riley Sayer swam this morning on her own, a new New Zealand record. She did with her time of 47.95 in the SB14 class. Always a bit difficult swimming on your own, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the cool thing is that she gets that clear water, so she'll be getting that nice feel all the way through here, and looks like she's having another go at that record tonight.
Yeah, focusing on her own work, a great rating here, 25 metres into it. And what we want to see, of course, she's no doubt going to win this national title, but can she get another PB? 47.95, let's watch the clock. Coach would have been talking through what can she tweak and improve from this morning. Riley Sayer, 50-metre breaststroke. New Zealand record again, another second, 1.3 seconds, and a very similar reaction from this morning.
Absolutely stoked. That's awesome to see. That's what this National Champs is about. We've just seen 2 awesome races already tonight, and the rest of the athletes here, we need to get on board the rest of this week. That's awesome stuff.
Absolutely. Great to see these PBs coming through. We'll catch a word with Riley Sayer. Here with Riley Sayer, and now I've had the privilege of seeing that massive smile twice today. Well done. You must feel stoked with that.
Honestly, I've been practicing this for ages. It took me 4 weeks to do this. So I'm so proud of myself because I got the PB in this because I was not expecting it.
You should be very proud of yourself to swim on your own and do 2 PBs, 2 New Zealand records in one day. That is fantastic, Riley. And what is the next swim you've got in this Champs?
I've got 200 freestyle tomorrow, which is actually one of my favourite events.
Well, I think you're going to go pretty well. Round of applause for Riley Sayer, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is event 102, the men's 50-metre breaststroke para-multi-class final. In lane 2 from Tasman, Bailey Conlon. Lane 3 from Parnell, James Hayden. In lane 4 from Pukekohe, Josh Wilmer. 5 from North Shore, Asher Smith-Franklin. 6 from Mount Eden, Denver Xavier. And 7 from Hamilton Aquatics, Joseph Blake.
Good to see a bit more of a race in this one, Scott. These boys will be going for their national championship. We've got obviously Josh in lane 4, the experienced Commonwealth Games gold medalist versus Asher Smith. They've got a start for themselves here though with their own class as well.
Great start by Asher Smith-Franklin. Look at this. Joshua Wilmer, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist, in lane 4. Lane 3 going well, James Hayden from Parnell. 5 of them from SB14. Asher Smith-Franklin, 33. That is a new Zealand record for Asher Smith-Franklin. Joshua Wilmer going faster than his time this morning as well. A good hit out there, James Hayden going a second under his time too. Some great performances this evening in the para-multi-class 50 breaststroke final. And continuing his form, every swim he's done, he's taken a New Zealand record. And just building in confidence, Asher Smith-Franklin, 17 years of age, swimming for North Shore Swimming Club. Only came to New Zealand from Australia 2 to 3 years ago with the family. And we'll catch a word with him to get a reaction. And we'll speak to Josh Wilmer, the overall winner of that event, SB8 category, the physical disability. Josh Wilmer winning that event. We'll catch a word with Asher as well. Here with Josh Wilmer. Congratulations, Josh, a national title for you. 35 flat, faster than this morning. Are you feeling happy about that one?
Oh yeah, that's all we can ask for really.
Your gold medal at the Commonwealth Games last year, that must have been a very, very special moment for you. Tell us how that was, and do you still get people sort of asking to see the medal and things?
Oh yeah, I get people sometimes, not usually, but like every now and then.
That must have been a career highlight for you. What are your goals coming up this year? Obviously, World Para.
Oh, I think just the PB, getting like that top 5, hopefully.
Well, that's something to aim for, and you're well on target now, so congratulations. Hope all the best for the rest of the champs.
Cheers.
Asher Smith-Franklin here with me too. 4 swims, Asher, and 4 New Zealand records. You are on fire, buddy. You must be happy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Tell us, what have you changed? Have you been working really hard on the pool, changed your stroke maybe?
Yeah, I've been working on more backstroke more lately. So, yeah, I've been working for the 200 IM, so that's been going good.
Your rating in your breaststroke there was very, very fast. You obviously had a lot of endurance to bring it home to the wall. Congratulations. Who are your biggest supporters?
That would probably be like, I've been training with Josh on Wednesdays with Swimming New Zealand, so he's been good with train with, and yeah.
Mum and Dad?
Yeah, Mum and Dad as well.
Good on you. Well done. All the best for the rest of the champs. Welcome back to the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships live from the National Aquatic Centre in Auckland. Myself, Scott Rice, on the commentary with 2012 Olympian Stephen Kent. Next event on the program, event 2, the women's 1500 metre freestyle final. Introducing the swimmers to their blocks now. In lane 1 from Neptune, Otago, Amelia Feiner. Lane 2 from Neptune, Otago, Ruby Heath. Lane 3 from Mount Maunganui Swimming Club is Kira Ellett. Lane 4 from Neptune, Otago, Caitlin Deans. Lane 5 from Coast Swimming Club, Eve Thomas. Lane 6 from Vikings, Brooke Bennett. 7 from Hamilton Aquatics, Sophie Hay. And lane 8 from St Peters, Alyssa Tapper. Now, Steve, this is going to be an exciting one. Eve Thomas in 5, Caitlin Deans in 4. Caitlin, obviously the New Zealand champion from last year. And the entry times not too dissimilar. 6:17 for Caitlin Deans, 6:25 for Eve Thomas. We're going to be having a lot to talk about on this one, I think.
Yeah, I think it's obviously going to be starting off. These girls are going to be eyeballing each other, I think, a little bit all the way. And then obviously seeing when that first person to attack really carries on and whether that person's ready for that challenge.
Talked many times about the way swimmers tend to, I guess, chunk out this 1500 metres, break it up into pieces, whether it's 5 300s or 3 500s. Talk us through why a swimmer would do something like that.
I think it's just having a clear strategy in their mind, Scott. So obviously they're going to have their plan, but it's can they be adaptable to what's happening in the race at the same time, and or trusting themselves that they're sticking to their plan as they go through.
Now, a lot of what you're going to see in front of you tonight has been the result of months and months of training. These 1500 metre swimmers, they put in some serious mileage. They put themselves in the hurt box, as they say, many times to get here.
Yeah, well, we obviously know Eve's obviously training over in Australia with Ariana Titmus and Dean Boxall over there in that group, and then you've got Caitlin down in Otago, so two different styles of hard work training going on. Obviously the rough and tumble of Dunedin in the winter, and which obviously produced Caitlin to get 5th last year at the World Champs short course, so she's obviously coming here with some confidence, which is good, and then Eve training with the Australians, so it's going to be some really good fight here.
Talking to Eve Thomas before these championships, obviously the 800 and 1500 metre freestyle, the main events for her. She says she's really been focusing on improving her easy speed, which has been a bit of a problem in the past, easy speed. Let's talk through easy speed. What does that mean for the people at home?
Yeah, well, I guess to me, easy speed is just finding that relaxed rhythm. So Eve will be looking to try to hold sort of 31, 32 O's all the way through. What you want for her is that that doesn't really tax her until sort of that part, and then she builds into more to hold that pace. So at the same time, she's going to have to work on her fast speed to make sure that the faster time she ends up doing is a little bit easier.
She talks about the support she's had from her parents, Lee and Sarah, and her partner, Sebastian, and coach, Dean Boxall. And for those that don't or may remember from a few years ago in the 80s and 90s, Sarah Hardcastle from the UK is Eve's mother. She probably doesn't like to be reminded of that all the time, but the pedigree's in the family there, Steve. She probably had a lot of inspiration from her mother when she was younger.
Yeah, and just some really good patience with her swimming. So myself and John coached her at a younger age at the Coast Swim Club before she moved to Australia, and it was all just about enjoyment in those first early years, so that now when she's putting in the hard work, I think she's really enjoying that part and that difference. So a really good patient swimmer from young to an older athlete.
And looking at where we're at now with 300 metres swum, splits just over 3 minutes, 3:10.2 and 3:10.8, just half a second in it, as we would have expected this part of the 1500 metre freestyle. And Caitlin Dean's just sitting in a good position here. She is keeping in touch in this early stage. And just Steve, talking about her performances in the last 12 months, that 5th in the 1500 metre freestyle at the World Short Course last year, 15:51. That's a very, very smart time.
Yeah, and the pedigree she was racing over there, so that's a really good confidence builder. What you want to be doing is how do you transfer that short course time into your long course time? So I'm sure that's what they've been working at, heading towards more that 16-minute mark.
And opening up to nearly a body length now, Eve Thomas. And as we talked about earlier, trying to swim your own race, not get overexcited, not be watching other people. You want to swim your own race, but at the same time in this event, Steve, you need to keep in touch.
Yeah, like I said before, it's sticking to your own strategy and trusting that, but at the same time being adaptable. So looking at Eve here, she's going really strong through the middle and also hitting those walls really hard for her turns, which is giving her that great momentum carry over into her alternating 50s. And she's sticking right on that 32.0 pace, which is looking really good.
Now, just looking at a typical day of a swimmer, especially a distance swimmer, I asked Caitlin and Eve what their typical day of training looked like. And first bit is a swimming session from 5:10 to 7:30. Just think about that, 2 hours and 20 minutes in the water. Then it's off to university and trying to fit in some gym and Pilates in the middle, and then back for a 3 till 5 p.m. swim session in the evening. That just makes me tired thinking about it.
You used to do that though, didn't you, Scott?
I did, yeah. Thank you for mentioning that, Steve.
Yeah, I think that's just part and parcel of being a student athlete these days. And not only is it progressive of trying to improve your swim times, but looking towards that post-swimming life of continuing that study, and obviously through the support of high-performance sport with their Prime Minister's scholarships, I'm sure these girls are ticking forward to their post-swimming career as well. So, I mean, what they're doing here to be able to do both is very impressive.
And back to the racing now. They're through the 500 metre mark, a third of the way through this 1500 metre freestyle. That margin has now opened up to 2 seconds. Eve Thomas have an advantage over Caitlin Deans. She'll be well aware of that and just wanting to recalibrate, relook at where she's at, whether she can lift that pace, whether she needs to lift that pace. And Eve Thomas both of these swimmers coming from such established distance programs, Steve, but very different programs, don't they? A lot of the training probably, would it be outdoors in Australia?
Yeah, basically all outdoors, I'm guessing, unless they're sort of using the race pool at Brisbane there at the Chandler Centre. But I know that St. Peter Lutheran College there, they're definitely outdoors, and then most of their gyms almost have an outdoor facility as well. So it's all pretty amazing over there to be able to utilise that.
And speaking to Eve Thomas about the kind of different things she's done with her training in the last sort of 6 months, she said did a very different style of training, which was interesting over the months of January to prepare for the training camp in Thailand. And Dean's got them doing some very creative things with their sessions, just to make it more enjoyable, more stimulating, to mix things up. Obviously, being a distance swimmer can get a little bit boring at times, I guess. So on Australia Day, she said they played AFL. Their squad split into 2 teams, and they played an AFL game. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that's about sort of just bringing that other element of fitness to the program. So, like you say, when you're in the pool doing the job, and when you're outside the pool, it's keeping that team, keeping that fun, so that when you're actually at the pool training, you're there and you're working towards getting better, not just the daily slog, and actually enjoying that time as well.
I mean, it's mind frame, isn't it? It is keeping a positive mental state. That's very, very important in swimming, especially in training. You know, it's day in, day out, morning and night. It's shaking it up.
Well, you talk to any non-swimmer, or they ask you the question, how do you look at the black line? And it's about the people next to you when you're doing those Ks, and the coaches around you that motivate you to keep getting better, your own self-motivation as well. And to be a 1,500 metre swimmer, you need all of those things. So these girls will be needing their teammates day in, day out.
Well, we're approaching the 800 metre mark now, Steve. We'll just check some splits. You've got them there in front of you. 8 minutes. We're going to turn about 8:35 for Eve Thomas. 8:34. 2.5 seconds back to Caitlin Dean. Still well within reach. Some signals coming from the Coast Swimming Club team over there. Not sure what the arms up mean, but it must mean good. I'm sure it's pretty good.
I think she's tracking well here, Scotty. So I've just looked at her PB swim from Queensland Champs, and she's 10 seconds ahead of where she was.
Wow.
So she's definitely on track for a solid swim. And if she is using and tapping into that Thailand training camp she's going, we know she's going to have some back-end speed here as well.
So looking at the support these swimmers get from parents and partners and things like that, Eve lives with her partner Sebastian with 2 sausage dogs, so the dog's probably just a bit of comfort at the end of a hard day. Caitlin Dean's living at home with mum and dad, as many elite swimmers will try and extend that for as long as you possibly can. I do remember eating my mum and dad out of house and home for many years.
Yeah, there's nothing better though, is there, Scotty? But the best thing about when I was in my later years of training was going back to a swim meet in Wellington and getting to stay at home. But these girls obviously utilise their outside training sources to keep this improvement going, and that's something really critical in our sport, is having that sense of homeness and relaxation time away from the pool. Definitely important.
That's right. Let's look at the rest of the field now. Third, Kira Allett. Kira Allett sitting in third, 9:41 through the 850 metre mark. She probably would have been sitting at around about 9 minutes, 9:05 for her 800. Fourth at the moment, where are we? It'll come up on the board shortly. It might be Ruby Heath there or Brooke Bennett. It is Brooke Bennett. Brooke Bennett from Vikings. 10:21 through the 900 metre mark. Let's look at that margin now, creeping up to just under 3 seconds now. So Caitlin Dean's going to have to just start making a bit of a move here if she's going to want to claw back some of this deficit.
Yeah, well, here comes that 1,000 metre mark, so we've got that last 500. So sometimes when we have been coaching these guys, they're descending the 500s, or depending on what their strategy is. Now's that time to lift. They're at that 1,000 metre mark, 500 to go. Start bringing in the legs a little bit more. Start trying to maybe pick up the rating if they feel that fatigue. Make sure they keep hitting those turns just as good as they were in that first 500 squat.
I always remember that Olympic Games. It was Grant Hackett and I can't remember who else it was, but it came down to just phenomenal turns from Hackett's point of view. Just clawed back just half or quarter of a body length every single turn. And it can get easy to let that part of the event go, can't it? Because it's so many lengths.
It's a critical skill, Scott, and if you think of a distance swimmer you can get away maybe with not as good a turns as maybe sprinters or 200-metre based athletes, that's the wrong way to be thinking. If these girls want to be up there with the rest of the world, this is a way that we need to keep maintaining our skills against every other athlete, not just our own.
Now the qualifying mark, the FINA A, is 16 minutes 29.57. 16:29, so both of these swimmers posting times in the program of underneath that. So Steve, how do you reckon we're going split-wise in terms of this qualifying?
Yeah, I've just been tracking them. Eve's still sticking under that 33 mark. It's sort of heading over that 32.5 mark. Caitlin just dipped into the 33 there, so these next 100 metres, 200 metres are going to be really critical.
So good to have two athletes of this calibre in the 1500 metre freestyle. I don't think we've had two women in this field, going this fast, swimming, pushing themselves along. It's fantastic.
Yeah, the last sort of two, I think, was sort of more Lauren and Emma Robinson for an era there. But now that this is an actually Olympic event, it's hopefully bring more people through to set as a pathway.
Coming through to the 1200 metre mark now. 300 metres left to swim. Just under 13 minutes.
I think Eve just hit her first 33 here, so she'll be wanting to pick it up. Those coast coach over there trying to get her to lift. They'll be knowing what lap they're on. They'll be knowing what they need to do in this moment. Now it's about how tough they want to be, how much grind they've done, thinking about the hard work they've done, and not backing down to that little bit of pain level now.
Fifth place at the moment, Sophie Hay out there in lane 7. Sixth, Ruby He. Seventh, Amelia Finer. Eighth is Alyssa Tapper.
Good to see Eve back into the 32 there. So she brought it back over half a second faster than the 50 previous to that. So she knows right now she's got to keep that lift going. She's got to keep pushing.
She looks so strong, Steve. Very, very strong. You can just see the work that has been put in here for this performance this evening. And you wonder whether Dean Boxall will be watching on the live stream. I'm sure he will be. He would have fed some intel through to the Coast Swimming Club coaches. 200 metres left to swim, ladies and gentlemen, for Eve Thomas of Coast. Well underneath the splits at the moment for the World Aquatic Championships qualifying mark. Caitlin Dean's doing very well indeed as well. Kira Allett sitting in third place. She goes through the 1250 in 14:21, holding 35s. Sophie Hay doing a good job under 35 for the first time in a while.
Eve will be looking to try and sort of bring it home, and then obviously that last 50 that distance swimmers seem to bring home. So I think she'll be looking around that 16:12 mark if she can really bring it home in this next 150 metres.
New Zealand record for this event is held by Lauren Boyle at 15:40.14. Wow, that was a fast time.
Yeah, I was training with Lauren back in the day where she did those times. That's impressive, but these girls got to keep trying to chase those records. That's the world standard. We've got to keep lifting them up.
The bell rings for the first two of our swimmers, Caitlin Deans and Eve Thomas. Let's make some noise for these very, very talented women. 1500 metre freestyle here, day one of the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships.
Eve's definitely lifted her rating here. She knows there's that 75. She wants that time. She wants that gold to bring home, to take back to Dean and say, how do we keep working towards this world champs?
I love the fact that there's just this plan, this international plan to keep getting faster. These swimmers aren't. It's not about winning national titles now. It's about getting faster, improving over that block of training. 16:29.57 is the qualifying mark. We're going to see her smash that to pieces. Eve Thomas coming through the last 20 metres to win the women's 1500 metres freestyle. What a swim from her. Let's welcome her home, ladies and gentlemen. Eve Thomas, national champion, world aquatic champion, championship qualifying mark. Caitlin Deans will take second, 16:20, also underneath the qualifying mark. Congratulations to both of these very talented women. What a result. 16:10. You wonder what time, if any time, she was aiming for, whether it was just to absolutely give it everything.
I think personal best is always the first key thing in any distance swimmers. When you know you put the hard work in, you want to get that result, see that board. I'm sure he's pretty happy with that. And obviously now that next step, world champs, what do you need to do in this next period?
And that's when it all steps up, the pressure gets a little bit more. And Steve, you know, talking about these swimmers, the rest of the swimmers in this field, I mean, a lot of it's about not thinking about the time, it's about thinking about the processes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you can't just think about the result all the time, Scott. You've got to make sure that in these long distance races, process, stick to your plan, get the result, and then be happy after that.
It's much like a lot of other things in life, isn't it? You take one step at a time towards a goal and you will get it. You take it in bite-sized chunks, and especially in a 1500, this is one where you really need to do that.
Isn't it amazing? Tonight already, you know, first male race and now the first female race, 2 qualifiers in each, Scott. That's a really awesome start to our national championships.
Gary Francis, I can see him down there, pretty happy down there. He's given me the thumbs up. He's a happy camper. And he will be hoping, like the rest of us, that the performances of these swimmers continues. And this is Alyssa Tapper coming through. 25 metres to go. Alyssa Tapper, 15 years of age, from St Peters in the Waikato. And we'll ask you to put your hands together and congratulate all of our women in the 1500 metre freestyle final. We'll catch a word with the winner, Eve Thomas, and also the other qualifier, Caitlin Deans, shortly. Congratulations, Eve. What a swim, 16:10. Easy qualification. That hard work's paying off, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't train so much for the 1500 because it's not my favourite event, and Dean knows that. So we train more for the 800, and it's just an event that I go up to. So I'm very happy to be doing a 13-second PB today. So, yeah.
In terms of your race plan today, Steve and I were talking about breaking that 1500 into chunks, I guess. What do you do? What goes through your head in terms of your race plan?
So in training, we've been doing a lot of 6 300s, and so today I decided that 5 3s was the way I was going to swim it and try replicate that set.
You've got some wonderful support over there in Australia. We were talking before the championships about your parents moving over to Australia to support you in 218. Must be so important to have that support around you.
Yeah, so my parents did move over in 2018 when I moved over, and yeah, being able to have them with me every day and pick me up when I'm down, because obviously Mum was a swimmer as well, so she knows the ins and outs of the mentality and the work that goes behind putting in swims like that. So.
And your squad over there in Australia under the coach of Dean Boxall, it must be wonderful to have such talented swimmers to spend every day with.
Yeah, obviously I get to train with some of my best friends, and training with Ariane Titmus, who not only is one of my best friends, but is world champion in the events that I do. So yeah, being able to have that every day and remind me of what I want to achieve is really important to being able to take me to where I want to go.
Love the attitude, Eve. Congratulations on your first swim.
Thank you very much. See ya.
We're going to have Caitlin Deans join me now. Congratulations, Caitlin. A qualifying mark on the first night of the champs. You must be stoked.
Yeah, it's always good to get that one ticked off. It definitely calms the nerves a lot to get that one done on the first day, and I guess I'm just lucky that my key event's day one.
Absolutely, 16:20. Is that a PB for you? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, 7 seconds long course PB, so pretty wrapped with that.
Wow, so setting yourself up for the other events in the champs. What have you got out over the next 4 days?
I've got the 200 day 2, 400 day 3, day off day 4, and then 800 to finish off, and a 4x100 medley with the girls on day 2.
Now your squad down at Dunedin is growing, had a few new swimmers come in. It must be cool to inject a few new personalities into the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. It's awesome to have those boys come join us, and we get a fresh bunch every year with the uni down in Dunedin as well. But it's just awesome having like a really competitive environment at home, and everyone's going for the same goals. So everyone just feeds off each other in training, and it's really shown in the results tonight here with Luan as well. That's absolutely awesome for him. I'm absolutely stoked. So a good start.
Congratulations. Round of applause for Caitlin Deans, ladies and gentlemen.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Well, Steve, we couldn't ask for a better start to the first final sessions of the Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships, 400 metres individual medley. Wow, what a swim in the middle lanes there.
Yeah, it just shows what some hard work can do. All those boys having a go and utilising the skills of Lewis there to get his world champ qualification, and then for Luan to actually have a crack at him and try and get the win off him was good and brought him through to that world champ's time.
That's right, that breaststroke leg from Luan, obviously his favoured stroke in that IM, really using it to his advantage. He certainly looked absolutely wrapped at the end of that, and so good to get that great news on day one.
Yeah, well, once again, getting 2 guys in the 400 AM, I don't think that's happened for at a World Champs level for us in New Zealand, so really special for those boys to be heading off to World Champs together.
Good on Lewis, yeah. The 50-metre breaststroke for para-multi-class men and women. Josh Wilmer winning that for the para-multi-class, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist. First to the wall was Asher Smith-Franklin, another New Zealand record. He's done a New Zealand record every swim he's had. What a legend, he's going all right.
Yeah, well, first day 3 from 3 in those swims, so he's just setting himself up, and it's about maintaining that through the week now, so making sure he gets his recovery right so he can keep doing it every swim.
He seems to have it in the head right, that's for sure. And Riley Sayer swimming on her own again and going under that wonderful smile of Riley Sayer. She's just such a character and swimming so well.
Yeah, well, shouldn't that be what swimming's about, Scott? It's about enjoying ourselves, doing our best times, and when you're from Matamata on this big stage in Auckland, it's cool to see that enjoyment instead of the fear. So I'm really impressed by a young athlete and doing her personal best.
And the one we've just seen, the 1500 metre freestyle for the women, that was exciting. In fact, I don't think I've talked so much in a 1500 metre freestyle ever, so that we should be rewarded for that as well. But what a swim there from all the women in that field.
Yeah, I think what it showed was some, like we talked about, the tactics from Eve and Caitlin sticking to their plans. I mean, Eve doing a personal best by a lot. Caitlin also doing a 7-second personal best as well. Shows that the hard work they've been doing is paying off. And day one of the nationals, and we've got 4 qualifiers on our World Championship, able-bodied team, which is amazing.
Yeah, Gary Francis very happy indeed. So that is the wrap for the first half of the final session. We'll be back after this break with the medal ceremonies for the events that have taken place this evening.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand. Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships 2023. A great start to the finals session. And now we move to the medal ceremonies for the events that have taken place. Presenting medals, the coach of the Hiratonga Sun Devils, Willie Benson. In third place, in 4:22.81 from Capital Swim Club, Sam Brown. Second place in a world champ qualifying time, 4:16 flat from Neptune, Luan Grobela. And winning in a world aquatic championship qualifying time, 4:14.78 from Capital, Lewis Clearbert. Medal ceremony sponsor, All Proof Industries. Thank you for the wonderful support. The Jackson family. Move now to event 101, the 50 breaststroke for women para multi-class. Winning the event in a New Zealand record for SB14 in 46.61 from Matamata Swim Club, Riley Sayer. Event 3 now, event 102, the 50 breaststroke for men para multi-class. Third place in 36.58 from Parnell Swimming, James Hayden. Second in a New Zealand record, SB14 from North Shore, Asher Smith Franklin. And winning in a time of 35 flat from Pukekohe Swimming Club, Josh Wilmer. And to event number 2, the 1500 metre freestyle for women. Third place in 17:14.24 from Mount Maunganui Swimming Club, Kira Allett. Second in 16:20 and a qualifying mark for the World Championships from Neptune, Caitlin Deans. And winning in 16:10.85 and a qualifying mark for the World Championships from Coast, Eve Thomas. And that concludes the medal ceremony for the first half of this final session. Thank you to Willie Benson for presenting those medals. We'll be back after the break for the women's 400 individual medley. Welcome back. The Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships 2023 next up event 3, the women's 400 individual medley. Introducing the swimmers to you now. In lane 1 from Pirates, Samantha Fowler. In lane 2 from Ngātai Tuatea Ataraika is Neve Tasaka. 3 from Vikings, Hope Chamil. 4 from Hamilton, Gina McCarthy. 5 from Kiwi, Maya Rasmussen. 6 from Coast Swimming Club, Charlie Toos. 7 from Neptune, Amelia Finer. Lane 8 from North Shore Swimming Club, Holly Nelson. And away we go, 400 metres individual medley for women. Gina McCarthy, the fastest of the qualifiers this morning, 4:51.97. That qualifying mark, 4:43.06 for the FINA A. And then if none of the women qualify in that, they've got an opportunity, the FINA B time, which is 4:45.89. Now hopefully we see the I guess the positive pressure of the final to bring these women through for faster times. A nice start in lane 2 there. That is Neve Tasaka in the butterfly leg.
Got Maya showing her experience here, wanting to push it from the start here. Obviously, maybe a little bit more relaxed than this morning, saving it up for tonight's final.
Maya Rasmussen leading the way. Gina McCarthy in the mix. Neve Tasaka, she got silver last year in this event. Charlie Toos is out there in lane 6. She was 3rd. Gina McCarthy won the national title last year in 4:45.49. And we know she's got a very good back end, backstroke, breaststroke. And Maya Rasmussen training in Australia, Steve.
Yeah, training over there in Australia as well. So we've got that seems to be happening a little bit more now, and them coming back here to our national champs, which is really good, instead of just obviously racing over in Australia. So it's cool to have them back here racing our own national champs and trying to improve not only themselves but the sport as well. Gina's moved up into 2nd now through that first 50 of the backstroke. Little battle in here for 3rd place between Neve, Hope and Charlie, so that's cool to see these girls not letting these older girls get away from them as well.
So this is the big event for Gina McCarthy. Speaking to her before the champs, this is the one she wants to qualify in. So she'll be leaving nothing in the tank tonight.
If she improves from last year, Scott, then she's going to be right on that time. So hopefully we can see that improvement come through. Here comes this breaststroke lap that she wants.
Now, Gina told me before the champs she's had a better run up to these champs than last year. A little bit of a tummy bug a couple of weeks ago, but she's hopefully back right now. So breaststroke for Gina McCarthy. Maya Rasmussen looking strong also in the second to last 100 metre here. Not often we've seen these two swimmers swim together. Maya Rasmussen, I think it's the first time I've actually commentated here in a while.
Yeah, it's cool to have her back here. And like you say, Gina's going to be watching her through this second 50 now. See what happens in this pull out midway through that 400 IM. How's that breath hold? Really need a strong press through the legs in this 50.
set yourself up, build towards, so you can then get aggressive in the freestyle as well, Scott.
This is where the endurance starts to kick in. You've got to have a bit of energy in that freestyle to bring it home. Really getting a lot of oxygen in through this breaststroke leg, breathing of course every stroke, trying to keep that glide and the big drive from the legs to go into that streamline.
Yeah, looks like Gina's really picked up this last 25 of this breaststroke here. It's good to see her really keep that squeeze of that kick. Let's see if she can now bring that through into the change into that freestyle. One of the hardest parts of this 400 AM, that changing of stroke.
Maya Rasmussen holds the lead by about 2 seconds at the moment. Gina McCarthy pushing it. The coaches from Swimming New Zealand trying to get their attention, push them on in the final 75 metres.
These girls need to be coming home and around that sort of 104, 103 mark just to make sure they get that time. They're going to have to use each other, going to have to keep pushing each other.
Let's look at this last split, Steve. Maya Rasmussen turns 32.76 to 4.11. This is going to be close indeed. Very, very close. She's going to have to come home in a 32. Maya Rasmussen for the Fina Ray.
Bring her home, guys. Bring her home on that side of the pool.
It's going to come down to the wire. Half a second in it, maybe. She's going to have to pull it out of the bag in the final 20. Maya Rasmussen starting to get a little of support from the crowd.
Got to hold her form here. Keep her head down this last 5.
4:41. 2. She hits the wall. 4:43. She makes it. The Fina Ray time from... Oh, she's just outside. 4:43.15. 1.1 of a second outside that qualifying mark. 4:46 for Gina McCarthy. So perhaps on the selectors' discretion, that Fina B time perhaps there for Maya Rasmussen. We'll have to wait and see. But boy, oh boy, that is about as close as it gets. And what a swim there from our middle 2 lanes. 5 minutes for Charlie Twos. She was third. She went 5 seconds faster than the heats this morning. She was third last year. She gets third again in 2023. That was a great swim. And we'll catch a word with Maya Rasmussen, the winner. Got all a bit overexcited there. For some reason, I thought it was a 4:43.4. Here with Maya Rasmussen, the winner, the national title holder of the 400 IM. Oh, so close, so close. In fact, I called it. I'm sorry about that. But just 0.1 of a second outside that qualifying. But a great swim.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty gutted. So close, but I'm just really happy to be here. I haven't raced in New Zealand since 2019, so I'm really happy to be able to race in front of Mum and Dad and all my friends as well, so yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your training environment back home, where you live, where you train, who are some of your teammates?
So I'm training in Brisbane at Somerville House. Hi guys, I know they're all watching. It's such a great training environment. It's a really young squad, but you know, we all go there, we get the job done and make it really fun and lighthearted, and yeah, it's awesome.
The last 6 months, what have you been working on in this 400 metres individual medley? Were there specific things that you needed to sort of bring up a level?
Definitely just working on building my fitness and staying really aerobically strong. My freestyle has been a really big focus as well. But yeah, just keeping all those 4 strokes in check, and yeah.
What's next for you in this champs?
I'm heading home tomorrow, but I'll be back for NAGS next week to help out and hang around and say hello to everyone, yeah.
Well, lovely to have you here for just the one day, Maya. Big round of applause, Maya Rasmussen, ladies and gentlemen. The next event on the program, event 105, the 100 metre backstroke for men, para multi-class. And we'll introduce the swimmers to you now. In lane 1 from Mount Eden, Denver Xavier. Lane 2 from Blenheim, Jack Bugler. Lane 3 from Mount Eden, David Beck. 4 from Hamilton, Jesse Reynolds. 5 from North Shore, Asher Smith-Franklin. 6 from Greendale, Lance Dusto. And lane 7 from the Hitatonga Sun Devils, Guy Harrison. Away they go, the men's 100 backstroke para multi-class. Jesse Reynolds in lane 4, an established member of the New Zealand Paralympic team. He has already qualified for the World Para Champs. They had a qualifying period from January last year. This Champs is about just proving their fitness, proving they're on track at the moment. So he's in lane 4, and alongside him lane 5, Asher Smith-Franklin, obviously in that great form for S14. Now there are 5 S14s, Steve, 1 S8 and an S9 here, so a bit of a range of classes.
Yeah, good to see once again these events are picking up in size from these guys. It's always cool to be able to race not only the different classes, but also they're also mates as well. So it's cool to get those little battles, and as you can see here, Jesse and Asher trying to go each other on this 100 backstroke, which is awesome for our para sport athletes.
Absolutely, and this is exactly what happened this morning. Asher just rolled on top of Jesse, but looks like Jesse's holding on. Jesse in the class of S9. His New Zealand record is 104. Asher Smith-Franklin comes in 106.94, just outside his New Zealand record. Jesse Reynolds 107.36, about half a second slower than this morning. Bit of an embrace there at the finish for 4 and 5. Third to the wall, David Beck, the character, 110.99, and he's gone quite a bit quicker than this morning. He did a 112, so good effort there. Always good to go faster in the finals, and we'll catch a word with the winner shortly, just being worked through. Here with Commonwealth Games silver medalist and national champion Jesse Reynolds. Congratulations, great to see you back here at the national champs. Qualification this morning and a good performance tonight. You must be happy with your progress.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Goal for this meet was just to come out, get under the qualifying time, and see where I'm at for the season. So pretty happy with that. As you would have seen last 25, 50 probably. It was a bit of a struggle, so got some aerobic stuff to work on for the back half of the season, but yeah, pretty happy with how we started.
Now, the Para Swimming World Championships in Manchester, so going to the other side of the world, that'll be fun. That's end of July, start of August. What's sort of happening in the lead up in terms of racing?
We actually head away middle of April to Thailand for a training camp, and then we've got a few races in Singapore just after that. So yeah, that's the main focus, and then a little bit of racing in New Zealand before we head away for Worlds.
So a nice little bit of travel this year for you. And do your parents shoot over and watch you as well?
When we're all the way in Manchester, it's like a very long way away, so unfortunately not. But my mum's here tonight actually, so thanks very much for mum coming and supporting.
Round of applause for Jessie Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen, national champ in the 100 backstroke.
Thanks very much.
Next up is event 106, the women's 100 metre backstroke para multi-class. Introducing your swimmers to the blocks. In lane 3 from Vikings, Gabby Smith. Lane 4 from Pukekohe, Tupou Naufi. In lane 5 from Selwyn, Ella Ben. .100 metre backstroke for women para multi-class. The Paralympic gold medalist and Commonwealth Games silver medalist Tupou Naufi in lane 4. She qualified with a 1:25.17 this morning, and her best in this event 1:15.36. She did 4 years ago. Gabby Smith, 16-year-old in lane 3. Ella Ben, 19 from Selwyn. Posting 1:18, 1:21 respectively this morning, and we've got 3 different physical disability classes here with a S10, S8 and S9. So each of these swimmers swimming against the world's best in their class, and their points are calculated based on their time versus that world best. And so often the first person that touches the wall isn't the person that wins, but sometimes they can. So here we go. This is Gabby Smith coming through in lane 3. She leads the way, and she'll be wanting a PB. S10, New Zealand record held by Dame Sophie Pascoe. In comes Gabby, 1:18.97, pretty much the same as this morning. And 1:25 for Tupou. She did similar time this morning. Ella Ben, 1:22. We'll wait for that result in the women's 100 back para multi-class. Under the Para Swimming World Championship qualifying mark for Tupou Naufi. So good job. and had a very, very busy few years, Tupou, and another busy year for her as well. And the winner is Tupou Nufi. We'll catch a word with her shortly. Hey Tupou, congratulations on your national title and qualification. Haven't talked to you in a while. What a wonderful couple of years you've had with the Paralympic gold medal and the silver at the Commonwealth Games. Where do you keep your medals these days? Are they in the top drawer? Do you keep them somewhere special?
Oh, it's in my sock drawer.
In the sock drawer. I remember Daniel Loader had them in the sock drawer. Now, what have you been working on with Sheldon lately? What are the sort of things you need to work on coming into the Swimming Para World Champs?
Yeah, so for me, it's, I guess, every day that goes by, it's just, I think that 1% more, I guess. You know, I'm a little bit unfit right now, so I've got time to, I guess, clean it up and hopefully by Reels be a couple kgs less and, yeah, be a bit faster by then, so looking forward to it.
Well, a qualification is what you needed. You've done that tonight. Congratulations. Well done. Welcome back. The Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships 2023, the next event on the program, event 4, the men's 800 metres freestyle. Introducing swimmers to the blocks now. In lane 3 from Aquablades, Daniel Calabout. Lane 4 from Coast Swimming Club, Lan Hamblino. A big welcome back in lane 5 from Neptune, Zach Reed. Lane 6 from Coast Swimming Club, Jack Potier. Away we go, 800 metre freestyle. The qualifying mark for the World Aquatic Championships is 7:53.11. And the New Zealand record for this event is held by Zach Reed, 7:53.06. He did that at the Tokyo Olympic Games. And Steve, let's talk a little bit about Zach Reed and his journey over the last 18 months. He's had a bit of a battle, but he's back in the pool, and it's so fantastic to see him.
Yeah, definitely some changes for Zach. Obviously went through some hip surgery there and some recovery now, and he's obviously down training in Dunedin with that squad down there. So they'll be looking for a big week. Obviously set up by Caitlin already in that 1500, so we know their swimmers are coming into some form.
So big change from Hawke's Bay down to Otago.
Taranaki down to
Taranaki. Oh, I'm gonna get it now.
What's cool to see now, we've got obviously Zach, who's been to the Olympic Games and through that youth system through New Zealand as well. And on his heels, we've got obviously Lan Hamlin-O, who last year went to JPP and is our sort of our next generation of distance swimmers. And Lan did a really good job in that JPP last year doing all PBs. So good to see him here and sticking it to Zach hopefully and trying to stay with him.
Yeah, good on him. He did a time, he was second last year to Louis Clark, 8:28.53. He's got a time down of 8:20.91. The World Junior qualifying mark is 8:12.45. So if he can reach that far, 7-second improvement, he will be on his way to the World Junior Championships. That's Lan Hamlin-O in lane 4. And Zach Reed just winning at the moment by 1.5 body lengths. He's got some serious experience and age on his side, 6 years older than Lan Hamlin-O. And looking back into third at the moment, it's Jack Potier, so another teammate from Coast. They really train well together. I had the privilege of doing a little bit of stand-in coaching and watch those two. They're neck and neck. They love racing and training each other.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what's the best about, obviously, what's happening in Dunedin right now, what's happening at Coast with the building groups. And you can see with that, when I said before, I talked to Zach earlier, he said his back end he's feeling really positive about, so now he said to himself he wants to be brave in this first part of the race.
Well, he goes through the 300-metre mark in 2:54, so he's holding around about 58.5 seconds per 100 on average. And
good to see Lan going through the 300 in 2:59 also, so that's a really good split there for Lan. If he's looking towards that World Juniors time, it's about how brave he can be through this middle section of this 800. We talked before on the 15 about strategy. It's the same in this 800. Each race has their own little strategy. So whether they're, like Eve talked about, 5 300s, or these boys are thinking about 200s, or 400, there's obviously multiple strategies they want to stick. It's about how brave they can be through the middle part though, Scott.
Looking at those splits there, Zach Reed hanging around about that 30 flat, Lan Hamlin-O 31.43. So now starting to settle into that 100-metre pace of around about 1 minute for Zach Reed and about a 1:02 late, 1:03 for Lan. Let's see the latest split, 30.49, just creeping up a little bit, maybe up to the 1:01s now for Zach Reed.
So Lan split through here on a 4:02, Zach at a 3:55. If we look ahead to Lan, he's got to come back in a 4:10. So he's right on that cusp of that World Junior time, which is awesome to see the experience of Zach putting it out there. And then Lan's going to have to start racing himself here to maintain his skills through this next sort of 200 metres.
Talking about this comeback for Zach, having that much time out of the water, quite a mental game as well, but it is a tough ask to come back. He was well on top of his game at the Tokyo Olympics, and I guess it's a journey to come back and try and get to those heights you had.
Yeah, I think what's obviously what he's got is a really good friend system around him in terms of Lewis and all those guys he trains with, which is cool to see him getting support and to come through this other side. It looks like he's really enjoying himself in his swimming again, so that's really cool to see.
Daniel Calabote in this race as well. He's sitting in fourth lane 3, 8:38.60, the 16-year-old.
All these three younger guys here, they were racing at the New Zealand Open Water Champs, racing each other and giving each other battles. I know that part of their open water swimming development, they've also got to hit these 800, 1500 metre pool times as well. So some other motivators for these boys to keep getting better in amongst the pool and towards their open water swimming as well.
This is going to be close, Steve. Lan holding about 31.3 to 31.6. So Wow, it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to be right there, 4:12, 4:13. We hope if he can keep this pace. Zach Reid really opening up that lead now, using his experience as he comes through the 600-metre mark. Let's look at the splits. 30.5, holding about 101s. 30.8, just starting to creep up a little bit now. He'll want to bring that back down again. Zach Reid, if he wants to stay underneath and go under 8 minutes.
Another one, 31.5 there by Lane. He's really sticking it now. His teammates are trying to lift him up through this last 200 metres.
All the coaches right behind him in the red over there for Coast Swimming Club. Lan Hamlin-O, his twin sister, also a big part of his swimming life as well. Zach Reid, beautiful symmetrical stroke here, breathing off to the left. 125 metres to swim here.
Good to see Zach's lifted his rating a little bit there. He wants to try and sneak back under that 8-minute mark, I'm sure. That'll be a really good confidence builder for him, heading back after not really doing the 800 much in the last couple of years.
I think Zach should be extremely proud of this performance. 7:53 is best. If he can go near 8 minutes, it'll be a tick box, I'm sure, in the journey back to the best. Lan Hamlin-O turns 31.60. He'll have to do a 1-minute 1. It's going to have to be a very, very fast final 100 here for Lan Hamlin-O. He's going to have to lift his game, bring that kick in and pull all the reserves in this final 100. Zach Reid back under 30 seconds with 50 metres to go. He's going to go under 8 minutes. He's going to go a 7:57, really starting to bring it home with a 6-beat kick.
Really good. Zach's obviously trusted what he said. He knew he wanted to bring that back end home. He's looking really good in this last 25. Lan's gone a 31.5 there. He's going to have to really try to pick it up. Bring in those legs, Lani boy.
7:57.58, a fantastic performance from Zach Reid. Lan Hamlin-O. 8:12.45 is the time. I think he's going to be just outside. He is. Wow, ever so close. 8:13.31. Wow, what a swim for Lan Hamlin-O. That's about as close as it gets. A 7-second PB for him. And he shaking in the head. He's not happy with that, but hey.
Look at his time from last year, Scott. 8:28 at last year's national champs.
Yep, 15 seconds faster in a year from a year ago. Jack Potier, 8:38. That's a 5-second PB. Daniel Calabote comes in as well. And we're getting a couple of swimmers here that don't seem entirely happy with that performance. It was certainly entertaining to watch. You do wonder what the expectation was for Zach in this first big comeback here at the Champs. We'll have a chat to him.
Well done, boys. Yeah, really good swimming there by both the senior and junior athlete. Awesome stuff.
Here was Zach Reid, the national champion winner of the 800-metre freestyle for men. Looked straight to it, saw the face at the end. Not quite happy with that one, but it's been a long journey back to the pool, Zach. It was great to watch. Tell us how you feel.
I mean, I can't be too disappointed. I'm super happy to be back here racing. It's been a pretty emotional last 18 months for me, so to still be here swimming is an awesome plus for me. And so, I mean, it wasn't quite the time, but I mean, I've got more races this week, so.
I'm sure you set very high expectations for yourself and your coaching team. You would have, set a plan for tonight. But from Steve and my perspective, I think you should be very proud of that performance tonight, coming back after your surgery and being out of the water, it's a very tough ask.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy to be here, and I'm just stoked to be here.
So what's the plan for you for the next 12 months? You've had a change of program, you're down in Otago now, that must be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really looking at the next 12 months, I'm looking at the next 2 days, so I'll try to smash out the next 2 days and then go from there.
Zach Reed, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for him, national champion, 800 freestyle. We're going to have a quick word with Lan Hamblin-O, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't quite make that junior qualifying mark, but I think you deserve a bit of a chat with me. That was a gallant performance there tonight, Lan. You really tried to stick with Zach in the early stages, and that was, 15 seconds faster than last year's final.
Yeah, definitely can't be upset about that swim. Quite a big PB, but it would have been nice to make that junior time.
I think you've got plenty of years on your side. You're heading in the right direction. Massive PBs every time you swim. Obviously, the training is paying off. You want to shout out to anyone in the crowd?
Oh, yeah, thank you to Vincent for coming down, as well as other swim mates like Jax.
Good on you. That's Lan Hamblin-O, ladies and gentlemen, second in the 800-metre freestyle for men. Next up is event 5, the 4x100 metre freestyle relay for the women. Introducing the teams to the blocks now. In lane 2, Coast Swimming Club C team. In lane 3, North Shore Swimming Club A team. Summer Osborne, Holly Nelson, Anya Minitz and Tori Grout. Lane 4, Coast Swimming Club A team, Chelsea Edwards, Zoe Pedersen, Eve Thomas, Helena Gasson. Lane 5, Coast Swimming Club B team, Amy Crosby, Amadika Atkinson, Madison Kidd and Zylika Pratt-Smith. And in lane 6, St. Paul's, Laura Littlejohn, Sophie Perry, Emily Austin and Nina DaCosta. Now this event will be interesting. The first swimmers looking for maybe qualifying marks in this 100 metres freestyle. Chelsea Edwards in lane 4 for Coast. Laura Littlejohn in lane 6. Summer Osborne in 3. They'll be the ones to watch, I'm sure. And leading out the front at the moment is lane 4, Chelsea Edwards.
Good turn there by Chelsea, obviously experienced athlete, now been to a couple of world champs and an upcoming swimmer. Been doing some training in Oz, now moved back over to New Zealand and training with that Coast Swim Club.
Half a body length in front of Laura Littlejohn at the moment. Chelsea Edwards having a great swim. Can she hold on in the final 10 metres? She comes in for a changeover. It will be Sophie Perry second for St. Paul's. And let's look at the time, 55.59 for Chelsea Edwards. That FINA B time of 54.79. Still a good, just under a second outside. And this is Coast A, Zoe Pedersen, who is having a great performances through her age group years. 16 years of age from Coast. And 100 metre freestyle is one of her main events, or her main event.
Yeah, good to see her going through in that 26.9 on that 50 metre split. It's about these girls need to start coming home and under that 29 second mark. If they really want to start making these times, We've got to be out strong. We also got to back it up on the second 50. We've got to get under 29 seconds.
I reckon this will be a very fast split here for Zoe Pedersen. In lane 5 is Amadika Atkinson.
Off goes Eve Thomas for the Coast A team here. So we've got another experienced couple of athletes still to go for Coast with Eve and then Helena.
Hope she's had a nice warm down after that 1500 metre freestyle. She'll be well warmed up, that's for sure. And this is
Coast B team's coming
Madison
into second
Kidd.
place here. We've got Maddie Kidd, more of a 50-metre specialist and in the New Zealand surf lifesaving national team, so she'll be looking to keep improving her 100-metre time for her surf lifesaving events as well.
Emily Austin for St Paul's in lane 6 sits in 3rd at the moment. 4th in lane 2, this is Mia Stanley Hunt for Coast C. And Helena Gasson, the first hit out for her.
Good to see these girls getting up for their club and racing hard, getting them through those skills of those relay changeovers. These girls want to be a part of these relays for New Zealand one day. We've got to keep practicing these skills, always important.
Zalika Pratt-Smith in lane 5, Helena Gasson in lane 4 for Coast A. And finishing is Nina DaCosta for St Paul's in lane 6. Now this is going to be all one-way traffic for Coast A and B, and the Coast Swimming Club have introduced a few new swimmers to the club over the last few months and weeks. Cameron Gray moving over, Chelsea Edwards, bolstering an already very talented crew of elite swimmers there, and now you can see it in these relays. Helena Gasson coming through the final 10 metres. She's had a few challenges with her health over the last few months, but she's back in full training now. And that was a good win for Helena Gasson, Coast Swimming Club A, 3:45. And that is well underneath their seed time of 3:49.
Only 4 seconds off that national record, so if these girls keep getting better, it's not that far away from that New Zealand record.
Yeah, that is. They should be proud of that one. Just 4 seconds off the New Zealand Open record. And who was in that one, Steve?
That was when the girls were trying to qualify for the Olympics. So we had Armika, Tash, Penelope Marshall and Haley Palmer in that team. So that was a strong team, not too far off those girls. That's some good swimming.
And we'll catch a word with the Coast A team, get a reaction, how that one went for them. Here with the Coast A team, another convincing win for more Coast swimmers tonight, and a bit of a mix of youth and experience. Can I say that? Experience. Helena anchoring that one and coming back your first race of the champs. How did that one feel?
I mean, that one was pretty fun. We just really wanted to go out there and show the dominance that the Coast girls have right now, and I feel like we proved that tonight.
And Eve, a bit of a warm down after that 1500 metres. You would have been nicely warmed up for that one.
Yeah, look, that hurt for 100 freestyle. The 1500 probably didn't set me up in the best way for a relay, but you know, the relays are supposed to be for fun, and you know, it's just good to be able to get behind the team and swim for Coast. So it's an awesome experience.
Chelsea Edwards swimming for Coast now. Bit of a change for you, enjoying the environment.
Yeah, definitely. I get to do the relay with these girls. Haven't done that in a while for a club anyways, but yeah, really enjoying it.
Well, fantastic round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Zoe Pedersen there as well. Congratulations to Coast A. We move now to the final event of this evening's final program. Event 6, the 4x100 metre freestyle relay for men. Introducing your teams to the blocks. In lane 2, North Shore Swimming Club B team. Blake Faliafa, Ryan Quinn, Nicholas Cowan, Lucas Holmes. Lane 3, North Shore Swimming Club A, Louis Clark, McAllister Clark, Iyad Masoud and Blair Helms. Lane 4 from Club 37, Carter Swift, Andrew Jeffcoat, Zach Dell, Michael Pickett. Lane 5, Capital Swim Club A, Lewis Clearbert, Sam Brown, Finn Harlan, Joshua Amies. Lane 6, Coast Swimming Club A, Cameron Gray, Fergus Eady, Lan Hamblin O, Wilrick Kutsia. And Lane 7, North Shore Swimming Club C, Samuel Potching, Henry Williams, John Quirk, Dieter Buswan. New Zealand record holder in lane 4, Carter Swift for the Club 37 team. Former New Zealand record holder Lewis Clearbert in 5. Cameron Gray pretty handy over the 100 in 6 for Coast Swimming Club A. This one's going to be a fast one. All trying to get that qualifying mark for the individual 100 or the 4x100 metre freestyle relay.
Good to see these three big boys having a crack at each other on this. I'm sure there would have been some banter behind the boards before this race. Who's got that leading into the week?
Boy, there's some power out of Carter Swift, but here comes Cameron Gray. Cameron Gray for Coast Swimming Club A. He's wiping the floor with them. Cameron Gray coming through in lane 6 for the first 100 of the 4x100. Let's see where they land. 48.29, New Zealand record for Cameron Gray. Carter Swift 49.50, a New Zealand record for Cameron Gray. 48.2, boy oh boy.
Coming home at 24.6 on that second 50 for Cam there. That's some big boy stuff. That's awesome.
And I always take myself back to the 1988 Olympics of Matt Biondi. That would have beaten Biondi's time in 1988. What a time.
Now it's into this second round of boys. They're all going to be looking across the pool now, wanting to do it for their club team.
Now that's some inspiration. Fergus Eady sitting in second. Club 37, this is Andrew Jeffcoat coming through. Zach Dell goes in next. Zach Dell for Club 37 leads. Can they get the New Zealand record of 3:15? 3:15.41, held by Mark Herring, Cameron Gibson, Willie Benson and Orinoco Famasilibansi. 3:15.41. Very, very talented 100 freestylers here.
Yeah, that New Zealand record was from that 08 Olympic team, Scotty, some super suit era. So for these boys to get close to that's just good. I think Cameron Gibson was a 47 guy back then at the back end of that. Let's see what Michael Pickett's got at the back end of Club 37.
Now let's have a look at the split here. Michael Pickett lines up for Club 37. Let's see what he can do. A useful 100 for him.
2:28.65. He's going to have to come home in a 47 to get those records. That's how fast those boys were back
Well,
in
he's got a
08.
flying start, Steve. Let's see what can happen. Club 37, the new club on the block here in New Zealand. Got some of the most talented swimmers in the country, many of them out of Pukekohe Swimming Club, coached by Mitch Nairn. Second at the moment is Capital Swim Club, Joshua Amies in 5. Coast has flipped back to third with Wilrick Kutsia. Michael Pickett storming home with 25 to go. Let's see what he's got in the final 25.
Good to see these boys racing for their club back here in New Zealand. Really good to see some top level swimming.
Michael Pickett coming through. 3:17, just outside that New Zealand record. Third for Coast, second goes to Capital. Fourth will go to North Shore Swimming Club. And then the North Shore Swim Club B and C will take fifth and sixth. What a race.
What a swim by that lead off from Cam Gray there. Gone under that World Championship qualifying time. Setting himself up for a big week here. Really good to see these boys doing it on night one.
We'll catch a word with the Club 37 team. And after that, a chat with the new New Zealand record holder, Cameron Gray. We're here with the winners of the 4x100 metre freestyle relay, a brand new club to Swimming New Zealand, Club 37. Fantastic effort, Carter. Congratulations. A good win amongst some very, very tough competition there. Some clubs really all right there, Coast and Capital and North Shore. But this club, Club 37, tell us a little bit about that. You got some wonderful swimmers in the club.
It's just a new club where wanted to change up the game within swimming in New Zealand, and it's just a new initiative that we really want to follow through with.
And Mitch Nairn coaching you all, the swimmers in New Zealand. I had a chat to him as well, and he's excited about it. This relay, you know, we've got the backstroker in there, Jeff Coate, Mr. Jeff Coate, well done. You had a very good split, by the way. Zach Dell, another backstroker in there, and a solid anchor leg by Mr. Pickett there. So we've got a New Zealand record holder, though, and we're going to talk to him soon, but it's going to be one hell of a 100 freestyle, boys. I tell you that, eh?
Yeah, huge shout out to Cammy. That was an amazing swim. I know how hard he works. Just an incredible swim.
Well, good on you. A round of applause for Club 37, ladies and gentlemen, the relay winners from tonight's finals. And we'll have a chat to Cam Gray. I think he's still got the same surprised look on his face that he had when he finished. Congratulations, 48.21, I think it was, Cam. Fast.
Yeah, I mean, it felt fast, but I didn't think it was going to be that fast. So that's awesome to see 100 frees finally coming together.
I talked to you before the champs. You were saying you moved to Coast a lot more sprint focused. I mean, is that already starting to kick in?
I mean, it must be just watching that swim. So yeah, it's definitely a lot more power work, a lot more sprint work, and then that fast twitch going. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it as well.
The bronze medal at the 50 metres butterfly at the Com Games, one of your highlights, you said, of your career. You've got some, you know, your freestyle and your butterfly going so well. It must be fantastic. How are you finding the environment at Coast?
Yeah, it's really good. You know, we've got a really good group of guys and girls there that, you know, mainly sprinters, just pushing me along, and real good coaches there. You know, we've got Michael and John and Mac has joined as well. So yeah, it's just happy days.
Well, unfortunately, you can't get the qualifying mark in a relay, I hear. So maybe we might need to see another one in the final.
Yeah, that's the aim. That'd be awesome.
Round of applause for Cam Gray, our new New Zealand record holder for 100 metres freestyle. And that concludes racing for tonight's final session. We're going to move now to the medals. And we'll come back after this break for the medal ceremonies for the events that have taken place in the second half of the final session.
Apollo Projects is New Zealand's trusted specialist for the design and construction of sports, aquatics and education centres, and is proud to be the principal sponsor of Swimming New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Apollo Projects New Zealand Swimming Championships 2023. We've concluded the finals of session number 2 here. Tonight we move to the medal ceremony. Presenting medals tonight, my co-commentator and 2012 Olympian Stephen Kent. Thank you for presenting them. We start with event 3, the 400-metre individual medley for women. Third place in 5 minutes, .64 from Coast, Charlie Toos. Silver, 4:46.29 from Hamilton Aquatics, Gina McCarthy. Medal ceremony sponsor, All Proof Industries. And winning the gold medal in 4:43.15 from Kiwi West, Maya Rasmussen. Next is event 105, 100-metre backstroke for men, para multi-class. Third place, 1:10.99 for Mount Eden, David Beck. Silver, 1:06.94 from North Shore, Asher Smith Franklin. And winning in a qualifying time for the World Para Swimming Champs, 1:07.36 from Hamilton Aquatics, Jessie Reynolds. Moving now to event 106, the 100 backstroke for women para multi-class. Third place, 1:18.97 from Vikings, Gabby Smith. Silver, 1:22.39 from Selwyn, Ella Ben. And winning in 1:25.72 in a qualifying mark for the World Para Swimming Champs from Pukekohe, Tupo Naufi. Next up, event 4, the 800-metre freestyle for men. Third place in 8:38.61 from Coast, Jack Potier. Second from Coast, 8:13.31, Lan Hamblin O. And winning in 7:57.38 from Neptune, Zach Reed. Rookie mistake for Zach Reed. Next up, event 5, 4x100 metre freestyle relay for women. Third place, St Paul's Swimming Club, 3:56.12. Laura Littlejohn, Sophie Perry, Emily Austin, Nina DaCosta. Second, Coast Swimming Club B, Amy Crosby, Amadika Atkinson, Madison Kidd, Zylika Pratt-Smith. And winning the gold medal is Coast Swimming Club A, Chelsea Edwards, Zoe Pedersen, Eve Thomas, Helena Gasson. Move now to event 6, the 4x100 metre freestyle relay for men. Third place is Coast Swimming Club A team. Cameron Gray, Fergus Eadie, Lan Hamblin-O, Wilrick Kusia. Second, Capital Swim Club A, Lewis Clearbert, Sam Brown, Finn Harland, Joshua Amies. And winning, Club 37, Carter Swift, Andrew Jeffcoat, Zach Dell, Michael Pickett. Congratulations, thank you to All Proof Industries, our medal ceremony sponsor, also to Steve Kent, our medal presenter this evening. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a fantastic evening of finals. Qualifying marks for Lewis Clearbert and Luan Grobbelaar in the 400 metres individual medley. We had another New Zealand record for Riley Sayer. 1500 metre freestyle for women. Caitlin Deans and Eve Thomas going under that qualifying mark, with Eve taking the national title. Just missing out on that qualifying in the women's 400 IM was Maya Rasmussen, a great performance there by Gina McCarthy as well. 100 backstroke para multiclass won by Jessie Reynolds, and the women's by Tupai Naufi, both of those swimmers getting qualifying marks for the World Para. And the 800 metre freestyle, a great first swim back for Zach Reed, under 8 minutes, and Lan Hamlin-O just missing out on that World Juniors, but a great time of 8:13. The women's 4x100 metre freestyle relay won by Coast Swimming Club A, and the first win for Club 37 on the program, the 4x100 metre men's relay, with the bonus of the new New Zealand record by Cameron Gray in the 100 metres freestyle. Thanks for joining us here for session 2, day 1 of the Apollo Project's New Zealand Swimming Championships. You can join us tomorrow for day 2 from 10 a.m. Thanks for joining us.